In the shadows there lies a path less trodden, where the unseen shapes the scene. The night whispers secrets to those who listen, tales of warriors cloaked in darkness. These are the Shinobi, silent guardians of the hidden world. Their world is not one of light, but of subtle movements and quiet power. In this realm, every breath is a choice, every step a decision. A Shinobi's life is built on promises whispered to the wind. They carry burdens unseen by others, weights that only they can bear. Each promise made is like an anchor in the soul, pulling them back to duty. And yet, these silent warriors find their strength not in light, but in shadows. In darkness, they see what others cannot. Their eyes pierce through illusions and reveal truth. We Shinobi has a story woven from threads of secrecy and solitude. They are protected, spies, assassins and healers. A world unseen by most is their stage, where every action counts and silence speaks louder than words. In this hidden realm, one must learn to walk without leaving footprints. The path of the Shinobi is a lonely journey, yet filled with purpose. Their existence is defined not just by what they do, but also by who they choose to become. Each step taken is deliberate, each breath held meaningful. As we delve deeper into this world, let us remember the unseen weight carried by those in darkness. These are the guardians of shadows, the protectors of secrets. And their stories, woven through the fabric of time and secrecy, await your discovery.
Imagine standing at the edge of a vast forest where sunlight barely penetrates the dense canopy. This is the boundary between the known world and the hidden realm of Leaf Village, also known as Konoha.
You are about to step into a place that feels both familiar and strange. Like an echo of your childhood home, but with secrets layered beneath its surface. The village itself is a labyrinth of narrow alleyways and towering buildings. Sunlight filters through gaps in the rooftops, casting dancing shadows at cobblestone streets that whisper tales of old. Every turn reveals something new. A hidden garden blooming with flowers you've never seen before. Children playing tag in quiet corners. The distant sound of someone laughing. A moment caught between breaths and dreams. This is where Shinobi like us begin their journey. It's not just a place in a map. It's a world within worlds. Each stone paving over stories yet untold. Think about your first steps into this village. Did you feel small or invincible? Were they elders watching from afar, their eyes reflecting the weight of generations past? This is where promises are made and kept, or broken. Where every smile hides some measure of truth, and every mask tells its own story in silence. The hidden village, a world apart.
It's more than just bricks and mortar. It's an intricate web of lives intertwined, each thread delicate yet unbreakable.
So, you find yourself here again, remembering the first time your feet walked these streets alone. A place that shaped you into who you are today, with its silent watchfulness and whispered secrets. In this village, every day holds the potential for a legend to be born, or a hero's journey to begin anew. What does this place mean to you? What stories do its walls hold, waiting just beyond reach? This is where it all begins and ends. A world apart, yet deeply connected, through threads of duty and destiny. Reflect to these moments now. Let the memories rise like steam from a hot cup of tea, warm and fragrant with possibilities. In this hidden village, we find not only our path, but also the promise that guides us forward. In the world of the Shinobi, silence is not just a state of quiet. It's a code to be lived by. Each breath held in the presence of another tells stories untold and keeps secrets sacred. The weight of these unspoken words hangs heavy on the shoulders of those who bear them. To remain silent is to protect, to shield others from truths better left concealed. It's the sound of a promise whispered into the night, a vow to keep vigil over shadows and light. Imagine standing in a room filled with whispers, each one carrying secrets that could change lives. Yet amidst this chaos, they stands the Shinobi, an island of calm amidst the storm. They understand that not every truth needs to be spoken aloud. There's power in withholding information just as there is strength in sharing it openly. Silence becomes a shield against betrayal, a barrier built from trust and understanding. In the deepest darkness, when all else seems lost, the Shinobi's silence speaks volumes. It promises security, safety, and protection for those who rely on such quiet strength. But this code of silence comes at a cost. Each secret kept is a weight carried alone, a burden not easily shared with others. The heart of the Shinobi bears these burdens without complaint, knowing the greater good they serve. Imagine the peace that comes from being able to hold back your voice in moments of tension and turmoil. It's the calm before the storm, the quiet resolve before action is taken. In this silence, there lies a sense of honor and dignity, a respect for the power of words unspoken. The Shinobi learns early on that some truths are best left unsaid until the moment is right. They understand the delicate balance between trust and discretion, knowing when to speak and when to listen. This unwritten rule shapes their very essence, guiding them through the most challenging of times. As you reflect on this code of silence, think about the power it holds over your own life. When might be a moment where holding back your words could make all the difference?
It's in these small acts of restraint that true strength often lies hidden. So remember, when the world around you feels loud and chaotic, seek out the quiet. In those moments of stillness, you may find the courage to keep silent for the greater good. Imagine standing under the moonlight, the only sound the rustling of leaves in your own breath. You're a shinobi, bound by silence and secrecy. What does it mean to make a promise in this world? Every word spoken is weighed against the shadows that lie just beyond sight. A promise can be as light as a whisper, but it carries the weight of honor and duty. It's the unseen force guiding your steps through darkness. In the quiet moments, when the city sleeps, you wake about those promises. They are like threads woven into the fabric of your being, each one pulling at the others. You remember the day you pledged to protect a child from harm. Their eyes held fear and innocence, and your heart promised them safety. But what happens when that promise is tested? How do you keep faith with yourself, knowing that some promises might break under pressure? Is it worth holding on to those threads if they strain against your will? The night air carries the scent of rain, cool and cleansing. It's a reminder to cleanse your soul, to revisit these solemn vows. Every shinobi knows the burden of unseen weight, promise kept in silence, the vow whispered into darkness.
These are the moments that shape us. To be bound by such commitments means understanding the depth of sacrifice. You carry them like armor, heavy but necessary for survival. But there's also beauty in this quiet dedication. It's the silent bond between a shinobi and the world, an unspoken language of trust and loyalty. So as you walk through the night, your feet leave no trace upon the earth, yet your promises ripple outward, unseen yet profound. In these shadowed paths, you're not alone. Each promise is a thread in a vast tapestry, connecting you to others who understand this solemn way of being. And so, you continue down the path, guided by those silent oaths, finding strength in the unseen weight that shapes you every step. In the shadows where a shinobi's truth lies hidden, there is a weight that presses down upon them every moment of their lives. This burden isn't just physical or emotional, it's a profound sense of responsibility to uphold secrecy at all costs. Imagine for a moment walking through life carrying an unspoken vow in your heart, a promise to keep silent about things others might desperately need to know. How does that shape who you are, and how do you face yourself when the silence becomes too heavy? Every shinobi grapples with this question. What is the cost of keeping secrets? There are moments when the weight feels like it's crushing your soul, forcing you to look inward and question everything. Is it ethical to hide truths that could change lives for the better? Or worse, prevent harm from coming to others? The lines between right and wrong blur in this labyrinthine world where trust is a luxury few can afford. There's an internal battle here, a constant tug-of-war within oneself. On one side are the rules of secrecy and survival. On the other, the human instinct to help and protect those who cannot help themselves. Each secret keeps becomes another brick in the wall that separates us from others. The shinobi learns early on that isolation is a price they must pay for their chosen path. It's lonely, but necessary. Or so we tell ourselves. Yet, there are fleeting moments when one might wonder if it's all worth it. Can you truly find peace knowing that your silence could lead to someone else's pain? Is the world better off because of what you've hidden? These questions don't just haunt the shinobi. They echo through every corner of their existence, challenging them at every turn. In the quiet moments, when the adrenaline has faded and the mission is complete, there's a lingering doubt. What if I had spoken not? Would it have made any difference? The moral and ethical landscape here is complex and nuanced. There are no easy answers, only choices that must be lived with for a lifetime. So as you walk in the shadows of secrecy, know that each step carries not just the weight of your promise, but also the unseen consequences of keeping silent. It's a heavy burden, one that shapes who you are more than any weapon or technique ever could. The shinobi learns to carry this weight gracefully, knowing it is part of their identity and legacy. And in those rare moments when the walls come down, even if just for a second, it's an opportunity to reflect on why we chose this path in the first place. To find a balance between duty and humanity. That's what makes a shinobi truly great. It's not about the secrets themselves, but how they are carried through life. In the end, it's up to each individual to decide if they can bear the weight of their own silence and still be at peace with who they are in the light of day. Imagine standing in the shadows of an old village, watching as your fellow shinobi move through the night with purpose. Each one carries a weight unseen by others. Their eyes tell stories of battles fought and promises made. They walk these paths not just for duty, but because they've chosen each other as family. A shinobi's bond is forged in moments of shared hardship. It's about standing beside someone when everything around them crumbles. When you look into the eyes of your comrades, you see reflections of yourself, your fears, your hopes, and all that you carry within. These bonds are unspoken agreements to never leave each other behind. In the silence between missions, they're quiet whispers of trust and loyalty. It's in the small gestures, the shared meal after a long day, or the silent watch from across the room that these bonds truly grow strong. How many times have you watched over your partner's back as they sleep, or held vigil beside them when the battles are won? These moments aren't just about survival. They're about creating something that lasts beyond missions and ranks. In the heart of every shinobi lies a silent vow. To protect those who stand with us, even when it hurts.
And in return, we receive an unbreakable sense of belonging, a home among the shadows. When you feel alone or overwhelmed by the weight of your promise, remember that there's always someone out there watching over you. It's this bond, more than any weapon or skill, that defines us as Shinobi. It's what keeps us moving forward in dark times. As you continue along these paths, know that you're never truly alone. Your comrades are just a whisper away, ready to hold your hand through the darkest of nights. Every step taken together strengthens our resolve and makes each of us stronger than we could ever be on our own.
In this world of secrets and silences, the bonds we share with one another give meaning to our lives. There are moments in a shinobi's life when silence feels like an unbearable weight. Each unspoken word is a reminder of all that could have been said or wasn't. The burden of keeping silent can feel heavier than any mission ever undertaken. It's the quiet promises we make to ourselves and others that tie us down. Sometimes it's not the deeds we commit, the secrets we carry that define us. A shinobi learns early on that every vow carries with it a shadow. That shadow is cast by the unspoken truths, the missed chances for honesty. The knowing that once you've kept your silence too long, some doors close forever. The weight of these shadows grows as time passes and regret sets in. In the quiet hours, alone with our thoughts, we confront this internal struggle. We question if the path chosen was truly the right one. Sometimes, it feels like the only way to protect those we care about is to stay silent. But silence also means missed opportunities to guide or warn others. Every secret kept compounds the burden of a shinobi's promise. It's as though our shoulders carry not just the weight of duty, but that of secrets too. These burdens can change us, shape us in ways we never anticipate.
They remind us that every choice has consequences, even if they're unseen by others. In the darkness of night, when the world is quiet, these struggles come to light. We wonder what would have happened if we had spoken up instead. The question of whether staying silent was truly an act of protection or a form of cowardice lingers. Each unanswered call from the past echoes in our present. It's in these moments that we grapple with the unseen weight of keeping promises. Shinobi's path is really straightforward, and silence often comes at a cost. Yet it's also within this struggle where growth happens. The quiet introspection can be a profound teacher, revealing truths hidden by noise. In embracing both the burdens and their lessons, we find a way forward. We learn to carry our shadows with us, understanding they are part of who we've become. And in doing so, we might just uncover the strength needed to break free from them. Imagine standing in the cold dawn mist, your breath visible as you exhale. The world is quiet, wrapped in a cloak of early morning stillness. Your sensei appears suddenly from behind a tree, silent and imposing. He offers no words but hands over a scroll filled with symbols that seem to pulse with life and secrets. Training begins under the watchful eyes of nature, sunrise to sunset, without pause or complaint. Every muscle screams defiance against the relentless demands of your body. You learn to move unseen, a shadow among the shadows. Each tree, each rock becomes an ally in disguise. The forest teaches you its ways, whispers its knowledge to you through the rustling leaves and snapping twigs. The mind's endurance is tested too, stretched like taut rope between towering pines. Concentration sharpens into a razor edge as distractions fade away. Memories surface of your first attempts, fumbles, stumbles, falls, yet each failure carves another notch in determination's bark. Progress comes slowly, incrementally, but it does come. Your comrades are there too, pushing and pulling you forward. Together, isolated from the world, you forge bonds stronger than steel forged in fire. With every lesson learned, with every challenge overcome, your resolve solidifies. You begin to understand what it means to be a shinobi, guardian of shadows, protector by day, hunter by night. What does it take for one to carry such weight? What secrets lie hidden beneath the surface of an ordinary life? As the sun sets on another long day, you find yourself questioning everything while remaining steadfast. The path is clear, yet fraught with unseen obstacles. Will you falter or rise up against them? Tomorrow brings more training, more lessons, more tests, but today, there's a quiet pride in the hard-won progress. And so, under the watchful eyes of nature and mentor alike, your transformation continues. A silent promise fulfilled one step at a time. Imagine the weight of a promise that no one else knows about. A silent burden carried in the darkest hours. You are a shinobi, tasked with secrets so profound they could change everything. But who changes? You do, under the strain and solitude. The mission begins like any other. The briefing is dry, impersonal. Yet as you leave the shadows of the meeting room into the light of day, something shifts inside. It's not just the objective that weighs heavy, it's knowing every step could be your last. Every breath becomes a reminder of what hangs in the balance. How do you keep moving when the mission is more than just a job? It's a part of who you are now. A fragment that doesn't speak but feels. The nights are hardest, lying awake with the weight pressing down on your chest. You imagine what it must be like to live without this knowledge, lighter, perhaps freer. But can freedom truly exist when others rely on you? Each heartbeat echoes in the silence of an empty room, a metronome counting out the hours until dawn. In these moments, time stretches and contracts. It feels both endless and fleeting, a paradox that gnaws at your resolve.
The physical toll is minor compared to the mental strain. Every step seems heavier as fatigue sets in. The world blurs around you, yet there's an inner strength that grows. Forged by the fire of unseen trials, you learn to carry not just your mission, but its weight with grace and silence.
In the end, it's not about how much more you can endure,
But rather how deeply you've changed because of what you bear. And so you continue forward, through the shadows and into the light, a silent guardian of secrets greater than yourself. Imagine standing alone on a cliff at dawn, the sky turning shades of pink and gold as you watch the sunrise. The wind whispers secrets of those who came before, warriors bound by silent pacts and unwritten codes. What is honor? Is it a word etched in stone, or something that lives within us, breathing and shifting like the morning mist? In the shadows where the shinobi tread, duty often feels heavier than any sword. A promise made in silence can bind tighter than chains forged by fire. Think of the stories you've heard. Tales of ninjas who faced impossible choices. They chose to uphold their honor, even when it meant walking away from everything they held dear. How do we measure a person's worth? Is it by the number of missions completed or the lives spared in the name of duty? Imagine for a moment, if you will, standing in another shinobi's shoes. Would your own sense of right and wrong guide you through the darkest night? Consider this. Sometimes, the most honorable act is not about what we do, but how we hold ourselves while doing it. Honor isn't just about following orders or obeying a strict code. It's also about questioning those codes when they lead us astray. What would you sacrifice for your principles? What lines are drawn in the sand that cannot be crossed? In the quiet moments, after the dust has settled and the battle cries have faded away, it's these questions that linger like echoes in an empty temple. To walk a path of honor is to constantly seek balance. To know when to fight and when to let go. Think about the weight you carry each day. Every decision adds another stone to your burden. Some days, the load feels unbearable. Yet there are moments of clarity when everything falls into place. These are the times when you realize that honor is not just a concept, but a lived experience. It's in these quiet reflections that we find our true strength. Not in defiance or pride, but in understanding and compassion. As the sun climbs higher, painting the world with light, remember that your path is unique. The choices you make shape who you are and how you see the world around you. Let this be a reminder to always look inward before stepping forward. In the dance of shadows and light, there lies the heart of honor. There was a time when I kept my heart tightly bound, like a scroll sealed with wax, never to be opened again. Every day felt like climbing a mountain made of secrets.
I carried the weight of things unsaid, heavier than any weapon or armor ever could. Silence became my closest companion, more loyal and constant than any friend. But one night, under the light of a full moon, I knew it was time to break free from the silence that held me prisoner. The moment felt like stepping into a void, where there were no safety nets. I told her everything, pouring out secrets as if they were rainwater spilling over the edge of a cup. My voice trembled with each word, yet my heart felt lighter than it had in years. She listened without judgment, holding space for all that I carried within me. That night, under the moon's watchful eye, I released the burden of silence and stepped into the unknown. It was terrifying, but also exhilarating. A new chapter born from breaking old chains. And as days turned to weeks, I noticed a change inside myself. The weight lifted, not gone entirely, but transformed into something more manageable. I learned that sometimes, holding back is a choice, and letting go can be a liberation. But the path ahead was still uncertain. There were moments of doubt and fear, but also hope. In those quiet moments alone, I realized I wasn't just freeing myself. I was setting an example for others who might be trapped in their own silence. It takes courage to break the silence, but it's a step towards healing, growth, and becoming whole again. And so I continue walking, knowing that every step forward is another breath of fresh air into my soul. This journey taught me that sometimes breaking the silence isn't just about speaking. It's about listening, understanding, and finding connection in the spaces between words. In the world of hidden villages, the term shinobi carries with it a weight unseen by most. It's a title bestowed upon those who walk in shadows, weaving between life and death with each step. Every village has its protectors, but only some can truly grasp the sacrifices required to fulfill that role. A shinobi's vow is more than ink or parchment. It's a promise, etched into the very fabric of their being. To carry such responsibility means living in constant readiness. The night always calls for those who guard the light of dawn. Each mission, no matter how small or large, carries the potential to be the last. Imagine standing at the edge of a precipice, the ground far below lost in shadow.
In that moment, your breath catches as you realize there's no turning back. This is what it means to be a shinobi. Always prepared to leap into the abyss for the sake of others. Promises made are sacred bonds, but they can also feel like chains binding one's soul. A shinobi's life is not just about surviving battles and missions. It's about living every moment in service to those who depend on you. As dawn breaks over the village once again, there stands a figure cloaked in shadows, silent guardian of the light. They're not here for glory or fame because they chose long ago to stand between their home and all that threatens it. Each breath taken is a reminder of all that has been given up, moments lost, the people left behind, the dreams deferred indefinitely. Yet there's an unspoken pride in this path chosen. A shinobi knows what must be done. In the quiet hours before sunrise, these warriors reflect on their purpose. The weight they carry isn't just physical, it's a burden of unseen deeds and silent sacrifices made to ensure peace for those who can never know how close they were to losing it all. They walk through life as protectors of shadows, ensuring that light remains unthreatened. Their story is one of quiet strength, whispered tales of the unseen heroes who keep darkness at bay with every heartbeat. So when you see a shinobi moving silently through your village, remember the weight they carry. It's not just their weapons and armor, it's the promise to defend what cannot be seen until it's gone. Imagine standing at the edge of a cliff, the wind whispering secrets that only you can hear. You feel the weight of your duty pulling you down, each step heavier than the last. What is a promise, really? Is it just words spoken in haste, or something deeper, carved into the very fabric of who we are?
A shinobi's word binds them like chains of iron and silk, strong yet delicate.
Every mission carries its own weight, but when those promises become too heavy to bear alone, what then? You stand there, feet rooted to the ground, heart pounding against your ribcage. The pull between duty and despair is a battle no one else sees. The promise you made echoes like a distant drumbeat in your mind. Each beat reminds you of the weight, the burden, that comes with being true to yourself while upholding others' expectations. How do we reconcile these conflicting forces? Can we find strength in our weaknesses, hope amidst the despair? Perhaps it's in those moments of solitude and reflection where clarity lies hidden beneath layers of doubt. The path forward isn't always clear. Sometimes it's about acknowledging the struggle itself. You take a deep breath, feeling the air fill your lungs, grounding you to this moment. It's okay to feel lost or overwhelmed, but it's also important to remember why you chose this path in the first place. What would happen if you let go of that promise? Would the world crumble around you? Or maybe, just maybe, letting go is a way to hold on even tighter to what truly matters. To be true to your own heart while honoring those who rely on you. It's about finding balance in the chaos, peace within turmoil. It's about carrying forward, not just as a shinobi bound by duty, but as a human seeking meaning. And so you stand there, one foot moving forward, hesitating yet determined. Each step brings a mix of fear and courage, doubt and hope, all swirling together like autumn leaves in a storm. In the end, it's about choosing the path that feels right for your heart, even if it means carrying an unbearable weight alone at times. But know this, you are not alone. Even in the darkest moments, there is light to be found, strength to be drawn upon. When you carry the weight of a secret, it's not just something you hold in your mind, it's like carrying a stone in your heart. Each day, that stone grows heavier, pressing down on your chest with its silent burden. How do we bear this unseen weight? It starts to shape us, carving lines into our faces and shadows around our eyes. Every breath becomes an effort, a reminder of the promises you've made, promises that come at a cost. We all have moments when we long to let it out, to break free from the silence and be honest. Yet there are those times when even speaking the truth can endanger lives. The internal struggle is relentless. You ask yourself if the price is worth it. The answer is rarely clear-cut. It's a constant negotiation between duty and humanity. Imagine holding back your tears as you watch someone suffer, knowing that showing weakness could mean they end. How does one reconcile such a heavy reality? We find our strength in small acts of kindness or brief moments of relief. Sometimes, it's just the quiet comfort of a friend who understands without words. These are the things that keep us grounded and remind us why we chose this path in the first place. But every day is a challenge to maintain balance, to hold on to your humanity while protecting those you love. The emotional toll can be overwhelming, leaving you questioning your resolve. Yet there's something profound about choosing silence when it means so much more than mere words ever could. We learn to find solace in the small victories, like seeing someone smile because of your actions. In the end, it's these moments that remind us why we endure the unseen weight of a shinobi's promise. In the shadowed paths of a shinobi's life, every vow we make carries an unseen weight. This weight doesn't just rest on our own shoulders, but spills over to those who walk beside us. Our companions feel it in the way they hold back their breath during a mission's silence. They sense the promise in every step, the commitment in each glance exchanged under moonlight. And yet they choose to stand by us, knowing the burden we carry. Imagine the family of a shinobi, the wife waiting quietly for her husband's return, the children who whisper when their mother leaves early, hoping she'll return soon. They see the lines on our faces deepen with each promise kept and broken. Every time we leave under cover of night, they feel the pull of uncertainty. The weight of our words is a silent force that shapes those around us. It teaches them resilience and patience, but it also asks for sacrifice. These are the people who keep hope alive in dark times, the ones who remind us why we fight not just for ourselves but for others too. Every shinobi's promise touches lives beyond our own. We walk a delicate line between duty and compassion, knowing that while we must fulfill our mission, we also have to look out for those we leave behind. They are the unseen soldiers in this endless war of shadows and light. Their strength fuels ours, their worries weigh on us. In reflecting on these bonds, I am reminded how deeply connected we all are, even if some connections stretch across miles and years. Our promises may be personal, but they ripple outward, touching lives in ways both obvious and subtle. As Shinobi, we bear this responsibility with each breath we take. We honor our commitments not only for ourselves, but for those who believe in us, trust us, rely on us.
And so as the night falls once more and I set out into the darkness, I carry within me the weight of unseen promises, not just to missions accomplished or battles won, but to the hearts left behind, waiting with hope.
This connection is a reminder that our journey isn't solitary. It's shared, intertwined, with those who stay and those who go.
Can you imagine standing face to face with the weight of your own words? What if the secret promise you made years ago suddenly became public knowledge? In a world where shadows and secrets are the currency of power, how would it feel to be stripped bare by truth?
The Shinobi Code values discretion above all else. But what happens when silence is no longer an option? Would you find strength in the clarity that comes with revelation? Or might this moment of exposure tear at the fabric of your identity? Consider for a moment the impact on others. Those who trusted who you vow, unaware it existed, and those closest to you, perhaps even sworn enemies, who would see their understanding of your character transformed overnight. Would the truth set them free from illusions or bind them further to reality? What if this exposure forced you to confront not just others, but yourself? To look into a mirror and see beyond the mask? The Shinobi learns early that every promise carries its own burden. But is there power in acknowledging that weight openly? Could it be that the unseen chains of secrecy grow heavier with each passing day? And might lifting those burdens bring unexpected light to your path? In this scenario, what do you think would truly change? Would the essence of who you are remain intact beneath layers of truth? Or would this moment become a crucible for transformation? Reflect on these questions as if they were your own. For in imagining their weight, we begin to understand the profound nature of trust and honesty. As I stand here at this crossroads, the weight of my decision feels like a mountain pressing down on me. Each step forward is heavy with the unseen chains of my past choices and promises made in shadowless corners. I am one voice in a chorus of whispers, yet my silence could drown out cries for change that need to be heard. Every secret I keep, every truth I bury deep, carries with it a cost, a price paid in quiet moments where the heart speaks louder than words ever could. The path ahead is fraught with choices that test not just what I know, but who I am at my core. To speak up means risking everything, alliances, safety, even life itself. But to remain silent is to betray those who trust me and all they hold dear. My mind races with scenarios where speaking out leads to chaos and division, while silence keeps the peace, maintains order, preserves what little stability remains in our fragile world. Yet, isn't it a peace built on sand when lies are its foundation? Each breath taken feels like an act of defiance against the oppressive weight of unspoken truths. The path forward seems clearer now, though not less daunting. Every step is marked by the heavy toll of my conscience weighing me down yet pushing me onward. What if speaking out leads to a brighter dawn where truth sets us free from chains unseen, where the light of honesty pierces through the darkness and brings hope anew? I feel the weight lifting slightly with each word I imagine saying, but fear still grips my heart like an iron fist. Choosing silence means living in perpetual shadow, while choosing truth means stepping into full light, ready to face whatever comes next. The path forward is not merely a choice between speaking or staying silent. It's about finding the courage within myself to live authentically and bravely, even when it hurts. Every moment feels like eternity as I stand here at this crossroads, grappling with my soul's deepest desires. And still, I know deep down that true strength lies in embracing both the light and shadow of who we are, revealing our truths no matter how painful. The path forward is fraught but clear now. With each breath, I affirm my resolve to speak what needs to be said, even as the unseen weight of a shinobi's promise guides me onward. Imagine standing in the middle of a dense forest, surrounded by towering trees that block out everything but whispers of sunlight filtering through. Each shadow and light cast by the canopy above feels like secrets shared between old friends.
In this quiet place, we're alone with our thoughts. We think about the promises made, the bonds formed, and the weight each carries. It's easy to forget how much trust is woven into every aspect of a shinobi's life. Every mission starts as a whisper, a mere suggestion that blossoms into an unspoken pact between comrades. The way your eyes meet across a crowded room, understanding everything before words are spoken. That's trust in its purest form. But what about the deeper connections? When you confide in someone about fears and dreams, sharing burdens too heavy to bear alone. Those moments where you're willing to risk everything for another shinobi because they become more than just a teammate. A family. This kind of trust is fragile, built on layers of shared pain, joy, and sacrifice. It's the kind that can crumble with one mistake or betrayal, yet is also resilient enough to weather storms when nurtured carefully over time. Imagine walking through life with the constant awareness that someone has your back, that they will stand beside you even in darkness. How does this feeling shape us?
Does it make us stronger? More compassionate? Perhaps even reckless? Each shinobi learns early on that trust isn't given freely. It's earned through countless acts of loyalty and courage, tested in moments when danger lurks around every corner. Yet it's these very trials that forge the deepest bonds. Reflect for a moment. Can you picture the faces of those who've trusted you implicitly? Remember their smiles or the way they look at you with eyes full of understanding. In these quiet moments, we realize just how much our actions impact others and vice versa. Trust is not only about having faith in another, but also trusting ourselves, believing that even in uncertainty, we have what it takes to see things through. It's a journey inward, recognizing our own strengths and limitations, learn then to lead and then to follow. As shinobi, we live in a world where the lines between friend and foe blur easily. Yet within this complexity lies an unyielding truth. Trust is the foundation upon which everything stands or falls. Without it, even the mightiest fortress crumbles under its own weight. So here we are, amidst the shadows of our past and future, contemplating what holds us together. It's a question that haunts every mission, every conversation, every decision. And in pondering this, we find ourselves becoming more than just warriors. We become protectors of something far greater than ourselves. Trust itself. Imagine standing at the summit of a mountain you've climbed alone. The air is thin, but it's clear and crisp. You see far beyond where your feet have ever walked. As shinobi, we carry the weight of our promises like stones in a backpack. With each step forward, they become heavier, harder to bear. What if these weights are not just burdens? What if they're also the echoes of our truest selves? Think about that moment when you first made your promise. Eyes wide with determination, heart pounding with resolve. Remember how pure it felt back then? Now, imagine looking back at that younger version of yourself. You see them standing strong against all odds. They remind us of why we started this journey in the first place, sometimes. To break free from the chains that bind us, we must look inward and ask ourselves, what is truly important? What can I let go? This doesn't mean abandoning our commitments. Instead, it means redefining them with clarity and understanding. Let's consider a story of an ancient shinobi who faced impossible odds. Each night under the starlit sky, they whispered to themselves, I am strong enough. Each whisper was like peeling back another layer of doubt, revealing more of their true strength. We too must whisper truths to ourselves in moments of darkness. I can carry my weight with grace and wisdom. Reflect on a time when you felt overwhelmed by your promises. Can you see yourself standing tall against them now? The path ahead might still be steep and rocky, but it's also filled with possibilities, waiting for us to step forward with renewed purpose. In breaking free from the unseen chains, we find not only our own liberation, but also a deeper connection to who we truly are. And when you feel ready, take that next step. Not as someone weighed down by burdens, but as a shinobi unbound, ready to soar. Can you hear the wind in your ears now? It's calling you forward into a future untethered and bright. Let's embrace this new perspective and continue our journey with courage and hope. In the quiet moments when the world around you seems to pause, it's easy to feel the weight of your own burdens. Each promise made, each vow kept, these are not just words spoken aloud, but echoes in a silent chamber within. Think about that moment when you first understood the gravity of your path, the responsibility that comes with being someone who doesn't just act on impulse, but acts with purpose. The shinobi's journey is one less traveled by many. It requires more than strength and skill. It demands something deeper, something quieter, yet equally powerful. Every breath taken, every step walked, carries a story of sacrifice and devotion. The weight of those stories builds up over time, layering into the very fabric of who you are. And sometimes, when you're alone with your thoughts, you might wonder if others see this unseen burden, if they understand the silent battles fought within. But then there's also joy in knowing that every moment, no matter how heavy or challenging, shapes you. It's a part of what makes your path unique and unrepeatable by anyone else.
In those quiet moments, reflect on the promises made and consider the reasons behind them. Why did you choose this path? What was it about the idea of being a shinobi that resonated so deeply? It's in these reflections that the weight can shift from feeling like a burden to becoming something lighter, maybe even uplifting. The unseen weight is not just something to carry. It's an integral part of who you are and what you stand for. So when you're standing still, perhaps take a deep breath, close your eyes, and feel the weight within you. Embrace it, understand it, let it guide you. In this reflection lies the strength and courage needed to continue moving forward, no matter how heavy the journey might seem. As I sit here in the quiet, reflecting on the journey so far, it strikes me how much we've uncovered about what it means to be a shinobi. Each story, each lesson, has its place in this intricate tapestry of life. The loneliness, the danger, the camaraderie, it all fits together like pieces of a puzzle. But why is that important? What does piecing these fragments into one big picture tell us about being a ninja? It reveals the unseen weight we carried.
What is the physical burden of missions and training? But the emotional load of every promise made and kept. We are bound by duty to others and ourselves. Each vow becomes part of our legacy, shaping who we are as shinobi. Imagine walking through life with that knowledge. Every step a testament to your resolve. It's heavy, isn't it? But there's also a profound sense of purpose in carrying this weight. Each mission, each hardship faced is a thread woven into the fabric of our identity. We become more than just warriors. We embody the spirit of commitment and sacrifice. So what does that mean for you now? As someone who's been exploring these stories and insights, how do they resonate with your own journey? Perhaps it's about recognizing the quiet moments of resolve, those rare instances when everything feels aligned. Or maybe it's in the way those around us see us as figures of strength and reliability. Our actions speak louder than words, defining our character through deeds rather than declarations. And yet, there's beauty in this complexity. The struggle to uphold these promises doesn't diminish us. It molds us into something greater. In the end, being a shinobi isn't just about mastering techniques or facing dangers head-on. It's about embracing the weight of responsibility and finding meaning in every step we take. So how do you carry that weight? How does it shape who you are? As I reflect on this path, I can't help but feel a sense of awe at the journey ahead, knowing that each decision, each promise made, contributes to a legacy far greater than ourselves. And with that thought, we continue to walk forward, carrying the unseen weight, ready for what lies ahead. As we stand at this crossroads, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by everything that lies ahead. But what if we look beyond the immediate burdens and see them as part of a greater journey? Imagine walking through a dense forest where every step feels heavy with unseen weight, yet each path you take leads deeper into the heart of your own story. This is our reality as shinobi. We carry promises within us like seeds that need nurturing to bloom. Each seed holds potential, but only if we tend to them carefully. It's in these moments when the weight feels unbearable that we find our strength. What if every challenge isn't just a test of skill or endurance? What if it's also an invitation to grow, to change, and to become something more than we thought possible? Embrace the unseen weight as the foundation for your future. Let it guide you, shape you, and ultimately set you free. It's not about shedding burdens, but transforming them into fuel. In this path ahead, every step forward is a victory. Each day offers new opportunities to see the world differently, to feel the air around us more deeply, and to understand that our journey isn't just physical. It's spiritual too. Let's walk together through these uncharted territories with hope in our hearts and courage in our steps. For it's here where we find not only the strength to carry on, but also the beauty of becoming who we were meant to be. Remember, every shinobi has a story worth telling. One that starts when they decide to see the unseen weight as their greatest ally. In the quiet of the night, as shadows stretch long and thin across the moonlit ground, I find myself pondering the unseen weight that rests upon a shinobi's shoulders. Each promise we make is like a thread in an intricate tapestry, weaving together our identity and purpose. But what happens when those threads begin to fray? Imagine standing at a crossroads, each path marked by decisions yet to be made. The choices you face are not just about missions or battles. They're about the kind of legacy you'll leave behind. What does it mean to honor your word in a world where silence is often more powerful than action? How do we reconcile our vows when the landscape shifts beneath us and what once seemed clear becomes murky? Consider this. Every mission, every promise kept or broken leaves an indelible mark on those around you. It's like leaving footprints in wet sand. Some wash away with time, others etch deeply into the fabric of memory. But there's also a beauty in imperfection. Not all legacies are forged from iron and stone. Some are spun from whispers and shared secrets that resonate through generations. So,
As we face our final moments in this role, let us reflect on how we wish to be remembered. Will it be for the promises fulfilled, for those broken with grace, or perhaps for the ones never spoken aloud, but felt deeply?
in the end, a shinobi's legacy is not just about their actions. It's about the echoes of those actions that ripple through time. And every echo tells a story. Perhaps our truest measure lies in how well we listen to our hearts and voices when no one else was watching. For it's in those quiet moments of solitude and reflection that we truly understand the weight and the worth of our promises.
The journey we've undertaken together has been one of reflection and introspection. We've explored the unseen weight that a shinobi carries, a burden often hidden from the eyes of others. This weight is not just physical, it's emotional, psychological, and spiritual. It's the promise made to oneself and those around them, the unspoken expectations that hang heavy with every breath.
Imagine walking through life knowing you must remain silent, your true self locked away in a box deep within.
This is the unseen weight of a shinobi's existence, a constant tug at the heartstrings, pulling us between duty and desire. As we close this exploration, I invite you to consider the echoes of these burdens in your own life. Do you carry any promises that weigh upon your soul? Are there moments when silence feels heavier than words? The unseen weight teaches us resilience and also vulnerability. It forces us to question what truly matters most, our duties or the essence of who we are. These shadows, though dark and heavy, shape us into something greater than just warriors or protectors. They sculpt our identities in ways that ripple through time. So as you move forward from this narrative, remember the shinobi's promise within yourself. It's not about shedding these weights, but finding a balance between them, a harmonious dance of light and shadow. In closing, let us honor the unseen weight for its transformative power. For it is in carrying our burdens that we discover the depths of our strength and the true colors of our character. As we stand at the edge of this journey, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the weight of promises yet unfulfilled. Remember though, every shinobi begins with a single step. That first breath you take in the morning is as much an act of courage as facing down your greatest fear. Each decision, each choice we make carves out our path one small moment at a time. And so it is for all of us here today. We carry within us not just the burdens of duty and responsibility, but also the light of hope and possibility. Imagine standing in the midst of darkness. Your hand reaches out to touch something solid. It's they. It's always been they. The path forward isn't about shedding what we carry, but learn how to move with it. Like a leaf floating on water, carried by currents both gentle and fierce. We learn to navigate not just challenges, but the vast openness of our own potential. When you feel lost or uncertain, close your eyes. Listen for that still small voice within. It's they, guiding you step by careful step towards where you're meant to be. Remember too, we don't walk this path alone. Every person who has shared a smile, offered a helping hand, or simply held space for us becomes part of our journey. And so it is that when we take that next breath, inhale deeply the unknown, exhale with resolve and clarity. We do not face tomorrow empty-handed. Each step forward is an act of creation, forging a future brighter than any darkness can dim. Embrace your strength, honor your past, trust in your journey, and know this: no matter where life takes you from here, you carry within you the power to shape every moment into something meaningful and beautiful. So take heart, my friends, for though the road ahead may be long, it is yours to walk with courage and grace. Let each step tell a story of resilience and hope, for yourself and for all those whose paths intertwine with your own. Forward then, brave souls, towards whatever lies next in this ever-unfolding tale of life. And know you are not alone.